If you looked at the top 8 of Team Regen's Invasion, that's the first UK Smash Major of 2022, you would see that there were 5 representatives from the east of England in said top 8. However, at the end of 2019, there were only 2 such players that were among the UK's finest. So, how did one region come from just having a couple notable players in the UK to having a whole scene full of players that could tear through the toughest of brackets that the EU has to offer? The East of England region, often shortened to EoE, is known as the strongest region in the UK at this moment. Having won most post-lockdown UK Smash events, some of the best players hail from there, such as Pelly, Lugi, Bloom Forever, Carnage, Cool Kings, and even more up-and-comers that are eager to put in the time and make their mark in the UK scene. But what changed to make this region the best of the best? In the beginning of Smash Ultimate in the UK, it was up in the air as to who was going to be the best region. The Southeast had Owl Babies and Bolby tearing it up in their respective tournaments. London heavyweights, such as Streaks, Zone and Kibsu, were all still getting strong results at the tournaments that they entered. The Northern scene were doing great as well, with SBF winning a few tournaments and Marissa getting top 8 Albion 4. The EoE, however, wasn't doing too bad, with Pelly still being a dominating force in the game, and Jackster having an amazing start with many top 8s compared to his performance back in Smash 4. At the end of the first year of Ultimate, the UK PR had Marissa on top, with the rest of the PR still being very diverse. For the next year, this debate over the strongest region would continue. Would Marissa still keep first place? Would Pelly or SBF take over? Would it be Streaks? No one would guess, however, that a pandemic would put the world to an entire standstill and force us to play online. But before that, let's talk about the Smash UK Circuit Last Chance Qualifier and a certain player that entered with his plethora of characters, but mostly Piranha Plant, called Bloom Forever. They did very well in this tournament, beating the likes of Carnage, Stranger and Carrot, to make it into the qualifiers playoffs where they got 3rd overall, losing to Mr. Spuddles and Kibsu, but most importantly, found their way into the circuit finale. On the day, however, he failed to get through his pool, losing to all but one of his opponents. Disheartened, but determined, Bloom went and grinded on Wi-Fi to improve, which in turn benefited him as the COVID pandemic hit and forced us to stay indoors and play online. The Smash Ultimate Wi-Fi system. It isn't known as one of the best fighting game online modes by any means, and has even been deemed one of the worst Wi-Fi experiences in any modern fighting game to date. This is due to the latency of offline compared to online, the fact that you cannot check if your opponent is wired or not without using a third-party program, and absolutely no rollback netcode. This means that matches have so much lag that it makes the game practically unplayable. This put many players off during the pandemic event drought, with many of them going to other hobbies and putting Smash on the back burner. On the other end of the scale, however, there were many players that were using this time to grind the game online and enter exclusively Wi-Fi tournaments. They were highly dedicated to their grind and dubbed themselves Wi-Fi Warriors. In this era of Ultimate, there were certain players from around the UK who started to make their first appearances, such as Xker and Lugi. So when offline came back, these players had the strongest head start and began to take the UK by storm post-lockdown. There were a lot of new up-and-coming players from all around the country during this period. However, in the EoE, there were 2 main names that were getting a lot of attention: Lugi and Bloom Forever. Lugi is a Luigi main that got started in 2020 playing Wi-Fi tournaments and was very passionate about entering. After being invited to a first to 10 against the EoE's own GP, he has gone from strength to strength, showing his absolutely lethal punish game, having the strongest Wi-Fi result at Get On My Line 2021 AU, claiming 2nd, losing only to Siski. Meanwhile, we've got Bloom. Ever since that last chance qualifier, they were still refining their characters online and continued to grind a lot of Wi-Fi tournaments and online crew battles. In turn, they became very consistent at events from August 2020 and onwards, winning a lot of the tournaments that they entered, such as multiple regen lockdowns, lag spikes, criminals, and their best result, winning the Smash World Tour Europe Online Qualifier. Here they showed off with the prospects of their work, beating players like Siski, Gluttony, Tarek, and more of Europe's finest, firmly establishing themselves as not only one of the best in the UK, but a tour de force in the EU itself. Let's not forget the already established EoE players such as Pelly, still doing well in the online era, getting 5th at the European Last Chance qualifier and qualifying for the Smash World Tour Europe Ultimate Finals after DQs from Bloom and Lucretio. After offline events were finally allowed to be run again with the appropriate measures, the first offline tournament series to be started was SAH, which had the finest in London and beyond attending. This is where the EoE really showed that their training had paid off, with them dominating the series. The East of England won 6 of the 8 quarantine series, with Bloom establishing themselves as the main champion, taking a stunning 4 home, while GP and Lugi both won 1 each. When restrictions were reduced, it was easier to run offline local tournaments again. GP started up a new weekly series called Tea Time in July, putting the T into T-Sports. This weekly served as a new training ground for EoE, bringing in some of the old legends such as Carnage and attracting some new faces as well, like Logue, Azalea, once known as Squid Snipe, Bengus, and many more, all very eager to prove themselves. Since then, the EoE has had quite the dominating hand in Smash UK, as if they attend any event, there is a high chance that they will take the tournament and a majority of top 8 as well. All of them have made waves outside the UK, winning at least 1 national tournament in Europe. Lugi has established himself as the big Luigi main in not only the EU, but the world, with constant top 8 since offline returned, as well as winning Manchester Conquest with additional wins at Regen 2022, Jump in the Pool 4, and Tech Republic, beating big names, including the Netherlands' own Mr. R. Pelly has also had a plethora of great results, including wins at Wave Smash, Dat Blast Zone 31, Big Lab 2, Fair Game 7, and a huge win at VCA 2021, being the first European player to take a tournament off of Gluttony in Smash Ultimate, and continues to display his high results in UK tournaments as well. Bloom forever has been the new most notable name post-lockdown, with them only going below 4th place at a grand total of 2 tournaments. They have quickly established themselves as the best player in the UK, with their plethora of characters winning many regionals and even national class tournaments such as Invasion, Wave Smash Ultimate 9, and Boss Battles for Glory, beating EU's greatest players and then some. Even at Colossal, which was their first offline out-of-country event, they were the highest European placing player, beating Mr. R, Quick, and even Europe's current number 1, Gluttony, throughout their path, and even winning VCA, beating the aforementioned Gluto, Abadango, and Siski with their Bayonetta and counter-pick Mii Brawler, mostly using pure fundamentals, and now even being sponsored by BMS, the same team that sponsors French powerhouses Raflo, Ogi, and Neros. There are up-and-coming players that have been making their mark, such as Azalea establishing himself with 13th at Big Lab and 7th at Invasion, 2nd at Jump in the Pool, and even winning a few Tea Time tournaments. On the other end of the scale, GP has been on the come-up, with wins at Tea Time, OLL, and SAH, as well as taking sets off of notable players at Invasion 2022, even sending Pelly to losers with one of the biggest pop-offs the UK has ever seen. Since then, he is now on the UK PR, ranking in at a very solid 12th. The East of England has had solid performances since post-lockdown, and has enjoyed such feats such as when Pelly, Lugi, and Bloom all represented the UK at Colossal, winning the crew battle against the likes of Team Mexico, which contained Chag, Meister, and MK Leo, as well as Team Algeria, which had Ogi, Raflo, and Eco.
Let's find out. Digits for Leo, I know the back end comes out. Pelly dives out with the volley, and he seals the deal. UK take down Mexico, take down MK Leo, and are moving on to grand finals of the Colossal World Cup. The crowd erupts. Dora has lost money, and I am absolutely ecstatic.
Seeing all the time and work that the players from EoE have put into Ultimate, there's no surprise as to why they are so strong. However, they are not unbeatable, as there are powerful players from all over the country seeking to take that top spot away. So EoE may be the best for now, but who knows what will change in the future. as there will always be a region that is hungry to be the best. For now though, the East of England is firmly on top.